Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers. A friend of mine inspired me to do this video, and God. Now, I just saw a video about shallowness of women. Someone made a video, and I said, that is basically like my story. So, let me tell you, out of all the people in junior high and high school, I only got one girl. One. In Australia, when I lived there, none. I was taken, but my partner didn't mind me dating or looking. Maybe for children reasons. We wanted kids anyways. Nothing. We had our own ideas. No problem. Being disabled, my friend being disabled, the women pass us up. I know disabled women that get passed up. The guys just don't even want to. I know guys that say, oh, well, if you're disabled, it's fine. You got a hole, I'll pork you. It doesn't work. Whatever happens, happens. The disabled are getting the shaft. Some disabled want someone to take care of them. Me, I just want love. I don't want to be taken care of. I can handle myself. Yeah. I was going to open up dialogue with a girl. My best friend said, no, she won't give you the time of day to look at her. Well, I told him today, and I reprimanded him, going up to the post office. You can't judge her until we both know what's going on. Then we can't judge her. We just have to write her off and let God judge her for it. Women want a house. Women want money. Women want security. And disabled people, in their opinion, don't have a house, don't have security, and don't have money. Now you got the other ones, the men. Some men are into transsexuals. I'm transsexual. And I'll explain something about shallowness in a second of the women, but some men want transsexuals, a woman who's had all the surgeries and keeps a penis. Some can't get a real woman, so they go with a post-operative transsexual that looks pretty good, and they can pork every night because they got a hole. Then you got the regular men who has their own ideas of a relationship. They want a woman who's got at least a C cup to a triple D or larger, like Montag, looks like Heidi Montag, and perfect. Yeah, plastic surgery, maybe a Barbie doll. Point is, men have their own perversions too. They have their own ideas. Women have their own ideas, and most women would not give the time of day to a disabled person. They just want money and security. In the old days, there was nothing about money and security. It was all about the woman stayed home, took care of the kids, the guy worked. But nowadays, with Social Security and other things, women are very shallow. They want what they want, and they won't have it any other way. For example, I've talked to many people that say, oh, you're a disabled minister. Minister, meaning a minister of God. I could be with any church, but anyways, they're so afraid that they will go to hell that they don't even want to deal with me. Yeah, going to hell. Now, the Bible states in many places, I left my notes, but anyways, these places not talks about homosexuality. It also talks about basically whoremongers, adulterers, idolatries, adultery. There's two. Idol worshipping is what it means. Worshipping other gods, etc. All that stuff is lumped in with the greed, the corruption, the power, the selfishness, and the self-centeredness. All that's conglomerated into one. Now, a lot of people said, oh, if I go to church weekly, confess my sins, I'll get into heaven. Well, I'm not going to judge, but the Bible states from Matthew to Revelations in various chapters that this will happen. In the days, these things will happen. Now, I'm not an end of day or doom seeker, but the end of day part says this will happen. And it's happening with women, and it's happening with men. Men want to get ahead. Men want power. Men want money. Men want riches. With money comes a bombshell or a trophy-looking wife. Yeah, the women, they want money. They'll do anything to get money. My sister is a money-grubbing whore. She basically is dating a guy who's married, who's separated, by the way, who's a millionaire. She gets whatever she wants. And her answer is, well, I'm not committing adultery if he's porking me. He's committing adultery himself. Let him meet the maker. Wrong. Bible states both parties are committing adultery. Heck, his wife, who's committed adultery, From another guy, same thing. But I think basically from my sister's standpoint, he's a guy who is chasing other women. Therefore, he more likely committed fornication in the divorce thing, so he could get divorced. But the woman and the man keep it together for the children's sake and the fact that they got businesses that are very successful. That's why they're millionaires. Yeah. For example. So, it's not just that. My sister's a money-grubbing whore. I got a disabled sister that lost everything in Alaska. No guy wants her because she's disabled mentally. She expects top-of-the-line cameras, like, a $7,000 Canon or Nikon for professional photography. That's her hobby. No one wants to give in. Then, My other sisters I don't know anything about, but my other sisters have family values, and I respect them. So, my mother was a woman who was a waitress who did the best. Her boyfriend was very nice for the most part. He was a construction worker and always tried to look out for the best interest of the family. He made some bad choices, but he was there when he had to. She did most of the purchasing and stuff anyways, but at least my mother taught me that certain values. Nowadays, there is no values. The woman has their own way. Money or nothing. You're disabled? Go rot in a corner. Then they complain, oh, well, the disabled get a free ride. That's not true. I'm a minister and I have enough trouble as is. Heck, I know a friend of mine who I used to think, oh, she's a money-grubbing whore. Turns out, she's not attractive. She was lucky to find who she's got as a partner. She's been blessed. Them two, they might be ups and downs, but they love each other very much. And we talked once in Skype, and she said, and she comes by and visits, and she said, women are like that. And I said, yeah. She said, they won't give me the time of day. My best friend could have had a woman, but said the woman ran off to a guy with a house and an airplane. House and airplane. There's where her priorities were. Financial stability. Yeah. I know one lady that's got 4 kids, drives a Cadillac Escalade, works at the grocery store. One of the grocery stores in nearby. And she's like, oh, you're so sweet. And then turns around. Doesn't give me the time of day. Before my mom died and afterwards. Why? Because they are shallow. They want financial stability. Heck, I had one lady tell me I was talking about cosmetic surgery. She wanted cosmetic surgery and a free vacation. She'd tell her boyfriend upriver for it. Tells you right there where the priorities are. Yeah. So it's not just that. And then I have my friend who says, oh, all men are perverts. I'm sorry, but men are not perverts. Old men are perverts? Well, yes and no. It just depends on the perversion. I made some videos. One was about homosexuality, and, one was about heaven. And I wanted to say to her in this video that I think, personally, that women that think they're going to heaven, well, you better make sure, because God does the judging. I don't. So before you say you're going to heaven, you need to realize the big picture, And her comment was here, since I'm going to put it into it, on the shallowness. It says, men are nasty sex pervs. Not all of them. I've seen some women that are pretty nasty on my yearbook. And they think they're better than women, and that women were put on this planet to serve them. Well, that's somewhat the Bible says in Genesis, but they weren't there to serve them. Women were there to keep the bloodline going so that the sperm goes into the woman gets pregnant, and the seed of the man has a baby, and it continues down the line. They're way more shallow than women. Well, yes and no. Men want a C to a double D cup. Sometimes it looks like Heidi Montag or some brunette model from Playboy. Yeah. Now, going to heaven, well, that's between you and the Maker. I can't make a judgment. I know I will be judged on my good and bad deeds. Now, the other video comment she said was, shallowness. About this, she basically said, I just watched this one. It kind of like the new one you just made. Well, I never met a man that I would date. I never met a man that would date a fat, unattractive woman. even if he's fat, unattractive himself. Most human beings, men or women, are shallow. That is true. I agree. A lot of them are shallow. I've seen them a lot. One lady turned me down, later found out she was lesbian. But, you know. And then she said, it sounds like friends of mine are sexist. No, it's the experiences that we have in this world that makes us who we are today. Those are, quote unquote, the experiences we experience with. Then you could see, some say we're in the end of days, these things are happening, women want security, they don't give a damn about the rest. And then you wonder why the divorce rate is high in this country and around the world. Well, I don't know what else to say about the divorce rate, but I can say that women do want security, money, and guys want a trophy model of a wife or a Playboy Playmate type model of a wife. And that's their standards. And as long as they can do that, you know. But eventually the guy's going to get tired of her crap. And the fact that she's aging like an old shoe. Get rid of her for a new shoe. Eventually she'll toss that one out. And another one will go about. So, you know, it's a continuous cycle for men. Unless the men decides to settle down with her and say, I will be with you. Even when you get to be 80 years old, decrepit, with no beautiness left in your body, and you're fat or not attractive, that's what men want. But the older a man gets, the younger he sees a woman, and he runs after the 18, 19-year-old, and he doesn't give a damn about the wife he married, who's the same age as him. He just says, oh, fresh meat, I want to pork her. Men is as much shallow as that. So, on the divorce rate, most likely men are the ones that are caused of the divorce most of the time. Women are sometimes because of financial obligations where they spend too much and the man's got to work 2 or 3 jobs to cover things. Now, for me, of course, I can get into other details of other things, but I'm not going to. Not in this video. So, with that said, with my best friend, he's going to be passed up because, well, he's disabled, he's overweight, that's strike 2, he has no money, that's strike 3, and etc. Some say he's the most greatest guy in the world, others say he's perfect, whereas he's been all her life, and then he hurts him, or she hurts him. Me, I don't look because, frankly, it won't do me any good. I've seen where this is leading in this world. All I can say is God will judge when the time comes. He will judge my deeds. He will judge their deeds, and He judges everyone. If a woman turns me down, and etc. When God's ready, God will point me to the right person. But right now, I just got to open up dialogues with many friends, and if the friendships go sour or doesn't come to fruition or anything because these women are shallow, then it's not just about, say, friendship, but it's also about dating. Dating, friendship, same thing. I'm not looking for dating, but you get what I'm saying. If friendship never even takes effect or takes root, then we know they're shallow. Men don't like the same, you know, they're shallow. Most of the time, they don't want to be friends. They have their own ideas. Guys that can go out card playing, cigar smoking, etc. Every person has their own ideas of life. So with that said, I'm going to leave you to ask this to the girls and the guys. Why is it you guys have to have a woman, guys, that fits your perspective? And if you don't have one that's blonde, brunette, redhead, very endowed breast-wise, nice butt, and etc. perfect. Even some of you picky guys are like she-males who have to have it all perfect and a nice large penis. Why is that? For you women out there, same thing. Why do you have to have a person, let's just say a she-male, if you like she-males, who are perfect she-male and has a big hot dog? Or you women out there, why is it that you have to have money, security, a house, and are very shallow to the ones that don't have that? Why is it that you are shallow? Is it because you know you can do better? Because if that's the case, take a long, hard look in the world. Same with you guys. And ask yourself the question, If you're atheist, don't ask the question. But if you're religious, that's fine. If you're Buddhist, that doesn't matter. But if you're Muslim or Christian, ask yourself, are you going to be judged properly for your deeds? If you turn down someone who could be maybe a good partner for you, love you and be loyal to you, yet you turn it down for a woman or a guy who will probably cheat on you or spend all your money and make you feel miserable, and eventually things will happen and divorce. Then you're single again, and you're wondering why you're single when you could have had it made with the right person at the right time. Think about that. Post comments and suggestions. May God bless you in everything you do. Amen.